Hi, I'm Lucretia Dearfour here at New York Comic Con with Nerd Caliber, and today we're asking cosplayers, whose side would you really choose? Magneto or Professor X? Who would you side with? Professor X or Magneto?
Oh, totally Magneto. He's a badass. I love him.
I would not follow Professor X because he's f***ing in a wheelchair. I don't want to be around a wheelchair. Magneto's the best. I have no medal. I'm not a superhero, so, I like bad guys.
Oh, Xavier all the way, baby.
Yeah, why?
Magneto, I'm a puppet to him. He just makes me do whatever he wants.
I'm a huge, bad villain loving person, so Magneto totally.
Team Magneto, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants will get some water bending, some good healing.
Yeah. A little blood bending.
Oh God, no.
Professor X, of course.
Yeah? Why, of course?
Magneto has a long checkered history with the X-Men. Sometimes he's been good, sometimes he's been bad, but Professor X has pretty much, except for those couple of times, not had any of those little forays into being a bad guy.
Magneto. He looks like he has more fun.
He looks like he has more fun?
Yeah. I think we could do good things.
Got to follow myself. It's Magneto. He's got the right idea. Crush the opposition.
Professor X, of course.
Intriguing. So why Professor X?
Because it's effective.
Because it's effective.
He brought me in when I was a kid. He raised me to what I am today. Of course I'd have to go with Professor X.
Professor X. Because X-Men rocks! And Wolverine, stay away from my lady.
Gotta go with Magneto. Professor X just bothers me.
Magneto. No doubt. I have to stay loyal.
I'm going to have to go for Magneto.
Definitely Professor X. I mean, he kind of started it all, and he's really trying to help the mutants out and the humans at the same time.
Professor X.
Okay, well, that was quick. Why?
Because he's the good guy.
The question is really who would side with BoJack Horseman? BoJack Horseman will side with anyone that sides with BoJack Horseman.
Xavier. Gotta go with Xavier. Though I love Magneto too, but it's gotta be Xavier because you don't want to be the bad guy.
The side I would be on would probably be Magneto.
Professor X.
Professor X.
Morals, definitely Professor X, but in terms of cool characters and everything, Magneto.
From the movies alone, I kind of would want to go with Magneto just because I tend to sympathize with villains and disturbed characters. So that's why. I mean, look at what I'm dressed as. So.
I would have to do Professor X because he takes children and who's unfortunate and show them the way, the right path.
Gotta go with Professor X, man.
Professor X.
Magneto.
Why Magneto?
Just sounds better. Sounds more calming, soothing, soulful.
I can see that, like the letters, like Magneto.
Yeah, exactly.
Professor X.
Why Professor X?
Because it's a lot harder and the payoff is a lot better to follow the heroic way than go the villain route, which is so easy and we make those decisions so often anyway.
Professor X.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Professor X. Yeah. Professor X.
I like the stance of equality versus superiority.
Magneto, because he is my father.
Xavier. I mean, although Magneto has, power over metal, Xavier has power over the mind, and mind trumps body.
Magneto. Metal is awesome.
Xavier. Definitely Xavier.
Professor X, because, Magneto ditched me, so Professor X, I'll do that.
It's Professor X because he didn't raise me, but he helped me out when I was younger. Can't forget that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Professor X.
Magneto, because he can move things like metal. I don't know, that's pretty cool.
I would do Professor X.
Professor X?
Yeah.
I would stick with Professor X. I think I've been enabling him for years, and I might as well continue to do so.
Professor Xavier, I think.
Why Professor X?
I don't know, I just get a good feeling about him.
That's fine. Magneto, who would you choose, yourself or Professor Xavier?
This is a really tough question. Me.
You'd go with yourself?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Charles is weak.
Rogue, same question.
Charles, of course.
Why is Charles in charge?
Because he is of our days and our nights. Lives? Wait, how does that even go?
I would prefer Professor X. I feel like he's genuinely trying to do what's best for humans and for mutants, where Magneto, he's just really looking out for his own people, his own kind.
I would have to go with Professor Professor X.
Professor X? Why Professor X?
If you really look at my illustrious career, what I've done, I've always leaned towards one side. So I think that's the side to go to, without a doubt.
Magneto.
Magneto, why?
He just makes more sense. The world's not going to be accepting to mutants, so we should just get rid of everybody else.
Professor X.
Why?
Because we should live in a world full of peace with no violence and love for everyone, humans and mutants alike.
You make storms.
Yes.
They're not exactly rainbows.
I can make rainbows. I
But
can
you
make
don't
clouds.
Make rainbows.
I can
You make storms.
And what
Storm.
does that have to do with peace?
What? I'm sorry. When I see a storm outside, I'm like, yes.
And this is why. People who support Magneto need help.
You're on the wrong side.
Hate is never the answer. As you can see, she has so much hate in her heart, and I don't understand why.
Because we're friends.
Are we?
Not anymore.
Well, that was our video. I'm sure you've got some opinions yourself, and we'd love to hear them in the comments section. Please like, share, and subscribe to Nerd Caliber, and we'll see you next year at New York Comic Con.